Hi, everyone. It is such a stormy, blustery day outside, so it really felt appropriate to take advantage of this wild, fierce energy that's just all around us right now and speak into the Wiser and Wilder program that we will be launching on the 26th of March, an online sanctuary that we'll explore together over 13 moons to awaken the power of the crone within. Now, to really get to the core essence of why this program and why now, I wanted to speak into what peri and post-menopause means for me and many others that already are in the Wild Tribes community. You see, we don't have a belief system around peri and post-menopause being simply a stage in life that we move into once we've finished our childbearing years. Whilst there are physiological aspects to this process, the much deeper meaning to this stage that we're transitioning into is on an energy and epigenetic level. You see, as women, we are being given this amazing opportunity and invitation to cross a threshold into a much deeper relationship in all aspects of our lives and truly discover what the power of our deepest truths and deepest wisdom can hold, and what that can mean for bringing forward a creative fire with so much more passion, so much more joy and pleasure, and so much more impact for our communities than we were ever capable of before. It's really interesting to me that we have DNA receptors that don't activate unless we move through a threshold crossing. And so the Western world would love for us to take hormone therapy, which, there's nothing against any ways in which you wish to deal with the symptoms of peri and postmenopause, but it would love for us to treat this as a physical thing that can be just done and dusted and managed. Whereas what this phase of our life really represents for me from a threshold crossing perspective is an opportunity to step cleanly from one moment in time, which was who we were before we began that threshold crossing, and into a completely new way of being in relationship to our own self and our spirit, in relationship to nature and the world around us, and in relationship to others too. A lot of what we move through, and part of the reason I believe so much of what we move through from a physiological perspective is so intense, is that there is a calling of our soul in this moment to leave nothing under the carpet, to turn over all the rocks, clear out all the skeletons in our life on an energetic, emotional, and mental plane, so that we can be as light as possible in our being to step into this next phase. And what that means is it's a real true invitation. Our physical being is literally shedding traumas and memories, belief systems, dogmas, indoctrinations, expectations, attachments of who we were, what we represented in society, and what our value was recognized and witnessed for in society, and asks us to shed all these things so that we can actually learn what it means to stand in the truest essence of our own selves. And in doing so, we step into a kind of power that we're not able to fully connect with without being witnessed and supported through that process. And so the 13 moons will represent a monthly online workshop. We'll have both live and recorded versions, so you never have to miss one, for a collective of womanhood moving through this transition to come together and be in witness of, support of, and in celebration of our each individual and collective crossing over from one phase of our life to another. In doing so, we'll be dispelling belief systems that no longer serve us, dispelling old identities, dissolving things from a lineage perspective that, if we don't clear them now, end up really collecting and cementing into our being in our final years of life, causing many more health problems for us than we need to, and even causing us to have much more severe symptoms as we move through this transition. And a lot of the symptoms we experience, I believe, on an energetic level, are a result of an energetic resistance to moving into this new phase of life, because it's kind of seen as the end of something. Whereas my personal philosophy about all of this is we are just beginning. In fact, we're only just becoming. And as we shed these things, as we dissolve and heal and grow together, we will move through a very sacred threshold crossing experience that allows us to hold greater and greater perspectives. And in holding those greater perspectives about our own life and our place in it, as well as how we relate to everything around us and what we engage with, we move into our ability to hold deeper and deeper wisdom. And our power and our wisdom come from the acknowledgement and integration and acceptance of all parts of ourselves, all the journey that has been our life, all those life experiences, transmuting all the things that we felt were pain or shadow into medicine and into light. And once we've moved through that phase of the program, we're going to be able to come into a deeper and deeper relationship with the creative fire. Our womb space never stops being about creation. It just has a completely different relationship with us as we cross that threshold. And so what would be the way that we would like to step into our passions? Where is our purpose? How do we stoke that creative fire? And what of creating community that is inspired by eldership and stewardship, that is inspired by wisdom keeping, that's inspired by earth keeping and regenerative culture and tribe? How could that make a difference in your world and the world around you if you embarked on this journey with us too? I would love to hear your thoughts on what peri and post-menopause and this beautiful transition and threshold crossing means to you. It is not doom and gloom. It is not the end. It is simply your becoming of your best and most beautiful self in its most glorious, fierce, courageous extent that it could possibly be. I'm really looking forward to exploring that expression of what that means for you throughout these 13 moons. And we've got so many surprises, so many amazing guest presenters, and so much beauty in being in community with each other in such a deep and intimate way to explore together. So if it resonates, anything that I've just worked through with you now resonates for you, please join up. We do have a tiered program so that it can meet anyone at any budget they're at. And for our UK and US participants, bonus for you that it's in Australian dollars. And we're really looking forward to welcoming a global community of women who are ready to meet this transition with a fierce, fierce passion for what it could mean to step into their crone.